If you an active gangbanger and you really on your shit every day, you know what I mean? It's a whole different lifestyle. You waking up, doing your thing, homie. You know what I'm saying? You probably banging on every nigga you run across, asking niggas where they from. They say the wrong hood, you might get off and get cracking, bust on a nigga. Like, niggas know what an active member out here do. Now, if you from your area, whether you from it and you never been active, whether you been active before and you fell back due to whatever reasons, you know what I'm saying, and you moved on to something else, which is my scenario. Like, I do music. I'm chasing the goal. I'm pursuing my dream. So, you know what I mean, I'm realistic with myself. I see the steps you gotta take in the work you gotta put in, and that's what I do day to day. Neighborhood Nip Hustling. Big shout out to SPI, Spotter Low. You know, I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned, all that.
We used to cover a lot more Warren Cali content on the channel. However, it didn't seem like y'all was really into it that much. It seemed like, I don't know if my audience is a little more mature than just that type of content, but I ran a lot of them Warren Cali type pieces and y'all didn't react well. So I strayed away. But this one caught my eye because the subtitle on the thumbnail was LA's richest neighborhood crip. And I knew some rich crips through my day. From Baby Drayline to Baby Lane, Del Dog, Nipsey. I even count Snoop. I know some rich crips. I knew some rich crips, especially if you don't count the ones that just got it out the street, like not like Snoop and them, but and Nipsey. But when it comes to like rich cripping, first thing come to my mind is Del Dog, Baby Drayline, Baby Lane. Baby Lane and Baby Drayline was a lot younger than Del Dog, but nonetheless, similar reputations about having it, getting it, keeping it. So when I seen this LA's richest neighborhood crip, that made it kind of specific. But I don't know if he ended up being richer than Nipsey in the long run, because Nipsey was a rich neighborhood crip. But I like the title. It doesn't seem to be negative like that. So with no further ado, let's see what they see the homie Hotdog has been up to. Neighborhood. I'm saying neighborhood.
Welcome back to another episode of Warren Cali. In this episode, I'm going to detail the story of Hotdog from the 4-6 neighborhood Crips. Hotdog was born Clarence Watson on April 2nd, 1967. Hotdog grew up.
Oh, my mama cuz look like a Clarence. Shout out to my cousin Clarence, my big bro. I love you, bro.
Up in South Central Los Angeles, being a kid in the early formation of what became gang culture, which started in his hometown. Several gangs started in South Central in the 70s and 80s, which many would become Crips and Bloods. So many of the youths growing up in these dangerous environments adapted to their surroundings, and also the pressure put on them to join their local gangs. In the 1980s, the drug trade was an epidemic in Los Angeles and also across the country. The biggest surge in the use of drugs occurred during the crack epidemic between 1984 and 1990, when the drugs spread across American cities. The crack epidemic dramatically increased the number of Americans addicted to cocaine. In 1985, the number of people who admitted to using cocaine on a routine basis increased from 4.2 million to 5.8 million. By the end of 1986, crack was said to be available in 28 states, and by 1987, crack was reported to be available in all but 4 states in America.
A year and a half ago, the DEA was finding.
Let's try to guess what 4 states it wasn't available in. Let's say New Hampshire, North Dakota, Rhode Island, Delaware. I don't know. Who knows?
Finding crack in only 7 cities. Now, crack is showing up in more than 40 cities. A narcotics agent calls its rapid.
While he tracking down the crack, he need to track down a toupee. Oh, wow.
Spread phenomenal.
That it appears to have somewhat leveled off in the suburbs, as you and I define the suburbs. We can't say that certainly for the inner city.
Los Angeles was one of the biggest hotbeds for crack in the country. and Los Angeles played a major role of crack being in other cities and states, as well as Los Angeles gangs doing a major takeover. Hotdog grew up in an area based with street numbers in the 40s, so several young gangs were surrounding the area, like the 4 Trey Hoovers and the Rolling 40 Crips. Also several young gangs who didn't initially want to become Crips or Bloods, so they just called themselves hustlers. Many Los Angeles Crips and Blood gangs were involved in a lot of different avenues, from robberies, drug dealing, gang wars against rivals, and turf wars due to territory of selling drugs. And selling drugs was making many young teenagers a lot of money. Drug dealing in the 80s afforded many teenagers lives they never had and took them out of poverty, even though a lot of these communities began to become worse, with aunts, uncles, grandparents, moms, and dads all turning victims to drugs. But the young members of these communities started to have thousands in their pockets, all the latest clothes and shoes, and also new cars. And that would later become the life of Hotdog. He became a young man in his teenage years all about his money, and selling drugs was his #1 source of income. In his teenage years, he became a part of a local up-and-coming crew in his neighborhood, which was called the 4-6 Hustlers. The gang started off in the 80s as the 46th Street Hustlers, which they often got confused with the 46th Street Top Dollar Hustlers and the Rolling 40 Crips off their close proximity. But the 4-6 Hustlers later became Crips, and also joined the neighborhood Crip card by 1990, making them one of those several Los Angeles-based gangs in the neighborhood Crip Alliance. They would later take the name the 4-6 Neighborhood Crips, along with another ally being the 4-8 Neighborhood Crips, and the Rolling 40 Crips, along with those gangs, would name their alliance 068, all 3 different gangs, but close allies. Hotdog was one of the early members of the 4-6 Neighborhood Crips, going into his teenage years in adulthood.
Now y'all know, they probably would have tricked you, but y'all know that's Turtle and the Santana Blocks. Them is not Hotdog and the Neighborhood Crips. They just used that clip.
He gained the reputation that preceded him, known for being all about his money and business, and clocking thousands of dollars on selling drugs. Also having women in cars was something that Hotdog was known for. Being in the streets put Hotdog in a lot of dangerous situations. He often faced jail time and death. He was once chilling in his lowrider in his neighborhood when a Brims, a rival to his neighborhood, caught him slipping. They pulled up and shot his car up. Hotdog wasn't injured, but he vowed revenge. He was a hustler all about his money, but that didn't mean he was scared to get his hands dirty. And that goes along with run-ins with the police. In the late 80s and the early 90s, Hotdog had various run-ins with the police and faced various charges. Some even had him going on a run and allegedly running out of courtrooms to avoid jail time, but he would eventually do small bids in jail. But by 1993, Hotdog had a tragic run-in with the police that would forever change his life in various ways. A case that wasn't highly publicized involved Hotdog, who was 26 at the time, when LAPD officers Bernard and Rodriguez tried to pull him over on January 14, 1993, near St. Andrew's Place and 45th Street. According to city documents, Hotdog, from their words, allegedly pointed a gun at officers, then led Officer Bernard in a foot pursuit, while Officer Rodriguez tried to cut him off with his car. The foot pursuit ended after Officer Bernard shot Hotdog 5 times as he ran, knocking him to the ground, and allegedly the gun from his hands with the first 2 shots. He later shot him twice in the back, and 1 bullet lodged in Hotdog's spine. LAPD investigators ruled that the shooting was an unacceptable use of force, though they said the officers violated policy by separating during the chase. Neither were disciplined. Officer Rodriguez left the Los Angeles Police Department in 1993, the same year of the shooting. This shooting became a big deal, and Hotdog was sued after being left paralyzed after being shot 5 times by the police. The city council, which chose to go to trial rather than settle the case for $750,000, reluctantly agreed to pay nearly 5 times the original proposed settlement amount because attorneys said the appeal will likely fail. Hotdog's lawyer stated, "When you start this case and you look at it on paper, everyone says you gotta believe the police officers, but that wasn't the only evidence. The physical evidence clearly indicated that the officer was being less than truthful. A police officer was responsible for putting a young man in a wheelchair for the next 40 years of his life by shooting the man in the back twice while he was unarmed. It makes me sick." But everyone on the other side of this case hated Hotdog had won.
Yeah, that's that Bush. Damn. Police.
The acting Los Angeles acting city council president at the time stated, "It just infuriates me that juries could be awarding these kinds of judgments. My gut says you got to protest these kind of things because juries have become more responsible and realize the consequences of their actions. It encourages everybody, including criminals, to keep on suing the city and costing the city an incredible amount of money that the city really needs to put more police on the streets. I don't know how far we came that criminals can pull guns on cops and get money." Another city council member stated, "Some worry that the jury's actions is a troubling indication of the public's attitude towards police and that the verdict could have a chilling effect on officers in the field. Not only does the police officers lose faith in the system, but it seems like society is the biggest loser because the overall effect of an award like this, it tells the crooks they can get money for shooting at the police officers." The LAPD spokesperson at the time stated, "Officers are involved in a shooting, and it's in a policy, but yet the civil case results in a huge award for this person. This shows how society is the way it is." Police still put the image of Hotdog being a criminal and carrying a gun, but Hotdog said this was all false. But either way, Hotdog being shot forever took his mobility, leaving him confined to a chair. The money could never be equal to that. This large settlement will forever change the life of Hotdog. He was now one of the richest young dudes in South Central. At just 29 years old, he was a millionaire. Now we all seen growing up in the hood, a lot of people with the bag and blow it in dumb ways. So many would expect Hotdog to do the same. But Hotdog was a real hustler with a real plan. He was ready to set himself up for the future and the rest of his life. Hotdog invested his money in several businesses. Some would say he owned several fast food restaurants like Louisiana Fried Chicken. Some say he owned AMPMs, barbershops, and also a jewelry store among many other things. He didn't just invest his money in himself, he also did for his community. He had a lot of money flowing in his area, and the 4-6 neighborhood CRIP was known for having some of the best drugs on the market. And Hotdog was highly respected and loved throughout Los Angeles. Even though he had a lot of money and business going on, he was never too big, and you could still see him in his hood and all around his homies just like nothing changed. Most stated, you wouldn't know anything changed for him at points because he was always around and was still active. He was still low-riding, carrying guns, and dealing with gang members. Some will have left the hood behind, which is reasonable. Everyone is not going to have your best interests, especially if you have more than them. Some want what you have and become jealous of what you got. And that could just be from your own friends and family, and not to mention your rivals from other gangs. Hotdog had a successful 4-year run after winning his settlement, but unfortunately, on May 19th, 2000, Hotdog was murdered. Hotdog owned a jewelry and pawn shop in Beverly Hills. There's many theories on who shot him that night and how he lost his life. Some state he was set up, some believe police was involved again, but no leads ever turned up, and his death in this case was never solved. Hotdog was in front of his shop in his wheelchair. Witnesses reported
Rest in peace to the homie, cuz, NAYBAHOOD.
seeing another man who was carrying a gun flee the scene shortly before 9 p.m. Hotdog, who was 33, was found in front of his store in the 8000 block of Wilshire Boulevard with multiple gunshot wounds.
Damn, 33, just like the rich Crip, Keyway, Christ neighborhood, Nip, cuz, that's crazy.
Died due to his injuries. Even after his death, Hotdog is regarded as a LA legend, just like many before and after him, trying to make it out the hood. He put his hood on, but he unfortunately didn't get to finish his mission. This will conclude this episode. If you haven't already, check out my previous episodes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
I'm the one setting precedents everywhere. Now I'm feeling like I made it. I'm looking up all my friends are mostly entertainers. I still got street friends, don't get me wrong, but all my friends, I'm in the entertainment door. I'm in that realm now. Now I'm finna start making a lot of legitimate money.
Bitch, you run my name, it come back 100. Ask Big U, Top Dog, whack 100. Suge Knight, both the niggas he happened to drive over, the one that died and the one that survived. Rest in peace, Terry Carter. What up, Bone? It's the perfect type of beef for me to nut up on. Used to holler at the plug like, what up, Holmes? Cop 9 zones, go home and cut up stones. No extras on nothing, just saying what I say. From Compton and LA, ask Cam with a K. Mayo over mustard, whiter than Ajax. And Trag Newport, getting high with AWACS. Nominated most Easty, yes I accept it. Q, Mac and Dub, I'm West Side connected. Used to flood to swap me with my CD copies. Niggas nutty on my block like BG Nuggies. All I ever did was keep it hood. All I ever did was keep it G. These niggas ain't never like me. That's something I never understood. All I ever did was keep it hood. All I ever did was keep it G. These niggas ain't nothing like me. That's something I always understood. Family first, nothing over or equal to them. Love my folks from the turf and my peoples from Brim. Industry-wise, the realest from the past to me. Actually, has to be Master P. Keep it a Google, only way I know how to do things. Tour with TD Boy before he had 2 chains. In Georgia with Jeezy and the CTE, or the son of Easy E and the CPT. Project passion on the mic like I'm giving a speech. Spent weeks on South Beach politicking with Meech. Used to think I was banging with a decent group, till they left the low hanging when I beef with Snoop. Never sneak this and just speaking the truth. When you shoot from the soul, it gets deep in the booth. I'm a legendary native like CJ Mack. Never left, but tell them haters that the keyway cack. All I ever did was keep it hood. All I ever did was keep it G. These niggas ain't never like me. That's something I never understood. All I ever did was keep it hood. All I ever did was keep it G. These niggas ain't nothing like me. That's something I always understood. Call me crazy, or maybe it's a baby thing. Baby Spider, baby Dre Line, baby Lane. New Orlando before Burris war with Glencoe. Fuck with slow bugs, but his name was Winslow. Shared a cell with Chris Lighty, got blunted with Fab. Now no one damn near had to run it with Zab. That nigga Puto couldn't do nothing but laugh. Like you a fool, sticking moves, stay up under the jab. Grab a bag of that gag for 1,200 a half. Fuck the world on my handicapped brother's behalf. Hit the road and wear it out for a month and a half. Counting cash, I don't care about nothing but math. Usually I'm all alone with a gun in the lab. Like you should leave me alone, I don't wanna collab. Number 1 in my class, I been good crip. Run long and not fast like in hood nip. All I ever did was keep it hood. All I ever did was keep it G. These niggas ain't never like me. That's something I never understood. All I ever did was keep it hood. All I ever did was keep it G. These niggas ain't nothing like me. That's something I always understood.
Always keep it hood. Nothing like me. I'm a G on CRIP. I'm just like
You have impacted them, only more so because you're not an actor playing a part.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm real life.
Actualize this shit.
Yeah.
You actualize, you made this shit reality.
Yeah.
They don't have the mental capacity to be able to process that type of shit, man.
But I mean, some of the laws in California have been twisted to where just being from a gang is the crime. So, you know what I mean, if you're around your homies and your hood happen to be under an injunction, being around each other is a violation of you know what I'm saying, a law. So in some circumstances, they create laws to bear something that beforehand wouldn't be illegal becomes illegal just because of your affiliation, like gang enhancements for your crimes. It's NAYBAHOOD Nip Hustle. Big shout out to SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe, stay tuned, all that.